Hi, this is Jeng-Chyang at Rajabhat Unit. Winter storm has come, and if you are like me, I'll show you what it's like outside. Be very careful about coming in to work, and uh, especially a small business. The no one is out shoveling snow. There, no one's out shoveling snow. There's no employees that you have, or there are 1099 employees. Stay home. It is extremely hazardous. This winter the storm is uh, turning snow, ice, and sleet. And we have officially rescheduled all of our clients today. Let me see. Just give me a moment to log in. Officially log in. The Korean TV is on.
Yeah, I think America should have the tea culture too.
Yeah,
Because
because
like
they
England before,
originally,
you see that England
yeah,
before, see they isolate too.
look,
But when they have like afternoon tea and all kind of that coffee shop
yeah,
and tea, so they go out, they can meet the friend, they can social.
yeah, you're right.
You
The,
know, 18th century.
you can see it in Savannah, Georgia,
Yeah,
the history that it's still,
America is the only country that watch everything and everything about brainstorm for something else, not about their health.
yeah,
And now that's why they
all about their health.
see that the first known shop in London was opened in 1706.
1706 in London.
Yeah,
Yeah,
by Thomas Twinning. Twinning. But it's only male only environment, you know that?
what environment?
Male only
Oh,
environment.
yeah,
But you see that because that is the tea shop, right? But the women they start that before at home and only themselves for you know what I mean. But this is the tea shop like official. And you know what? Girl, that's so funny. Like when they have the first right, they only the male right. The woman have to come in the back door.
yeah, yeah. You laugh about it, but it's not been very long ago.
Yeah, you see, and then they send the servant. I think servant like like in Thailand, it come from England.
Yeah.
They follow that.
Especially King number 5.
Yeah. Teaching.
Yeah, it's a slave economy. Modern day economy, a slave economy.
Very good book. Look like you watch the movie.
Yeah. Man. I'm very behind all of my emails.
Oh, you know what? They're still open. The winning family.
Twinning family
Yeah.
estates
It still have the tea shop.
in London.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that's fantastic news. I didn't know that. Later on, I have my afternoon tea. Drinking my morning coffee. And taking my prescription. The only thing that the non-insurance can afford. Oops, sorry. Because we cannot afford the semi-statin. No. Most definitely, the drone will not be flying today. It's wet. And I just dry out. That is a good history book. You know, that's what we should be reading.
I wish I can understand 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good. You know?
And you know what? Since they have it, right? So about the tea, right, Meow?
Yeah.
100, and then they buy the China ware from China, right?
Yeah.
And then make them like 100 years later
100 years later?
to have their own made in London,
Oh.
the tea ware.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
That, remember
Yeah.
that in print and everything, remember?
Yeah, because
they don't have experience.
Yeah.
They're scared that like when they put it on, you know, it's not gonna hold water
Yeah.
and hold the heat, right? But China, remember we have a
Yeah.
5,000 years.
Yeah.
They have the
History.
experience. But
Yeah.
for the beginning, that's why they have China ware.
Yeah.
And then they have. That's why China ware is more well known because that's what is in England.
Yeah.
Even England cannot. And
Make
100 years later, they can have it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can believe it because
You just remember the name Twinning.
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 Yeah, I remember the name of states.
That last name.
That
If you're gonna be about the tea in London or Thailand.
we need to learn about this civilization of 12,000 years, but the technology is very little. I doubt that it will last. Because of the 12,000 years history that go back to this civilization, is mostly unavailable because we start out all over every 20 years, every generation. What degree is it? It's still 34 degrees in Clemson. Man, 34 degrees. Yeah, they piled up the snow when they're shoveling snow. The the trucks, it makes it difficult to get into your driveway. It doesn't look like it's melting very soon though. It's 34 degrees. I will stay on as long as possible, and so I can make it back home safely. Wonder what the tsunami in Japan is like. I heard some stories, uh, tragedy on the social media. Let me see. No sound. I'm always having trouble with the audio because we're a nonprofit. There's no audio engineer on the payroll because there's no payroll at all. Let me see if I can get it on my other monitor. It's usually something very simple that Apple can't figure it out. Yeah, NHK, the solid version is on, so that means the tsunami warning is over with. They're dealing with the aftermath in Japan. Yep, all the pickup trucks are going 45, 50 miles an hour now. I come here 15 to 25 miles an hour. All the V8 engines and the Bipun cars are making the fast and furious muscle cars. They're on the road fishtailing. Uh, let's see. Yeah, the sounds coming off of the other monitor.
He's expert at retrieving materials from old houses that are being demolished and recycling them to use in renovations for
Turn
restaurants.
down the sound.
For example,
At least I know how it sounds.
glass panes into stylish windows.
NHK, that's the best news. Recently, Korean TV, I can't follow the meta universe. They seem to be going down that rabbit hole full speed with the Mark and Facebook. I said I'm only an observer, in my humble opinion, always humble. Yeah, that snowbank outside my window where I come in, it's getting bigger and bigger. When I have to go back out, I'm afraid that I cannot stop. And these pickup trucks going 45, 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour through this intersection. Monster trucks and peeing muscle cars. Fast and the Furious. I can post on my Facebook account.
My experience in Australia is all restaurants and hotels. In Japan, I always wanted to try.
It's faster.
A little bit concerned for the differences in Australian and Japanese business culture in general. Doing it as a partnership with NASA was a really great opportunity. They invested the starting capital and revamped an old store into a bakery with the spirit of Carl's homeland down under. The fashionable interior they created is quite a sensation on social media. When Mao-san has free time between renovation jobs, he helps out at the shop. But he suggested Carl focus solely on running the bakery for the time being.
Yeah, I guess after being a YouTuber for 20 years, I still, with 6,500 views, it's still not good enough for to let me do things live. So I use Facebook instead. And I reported on the steps in front of our business, and you can see the steps are. I just cleared it. That's my handiwork. And I cleared this. See there on the Facebook on the turning lane where they have the snow build up. I posted. This is my first post. Yeah, the entrance is a little old, but it's functional. Everything is functional in the office, and that office has. Thank you, Mr. Burton, for being here so long. If it wasn't for you, no way I would be here too. Uh, I get a shout out to Mr. Burton, Burton Properties Inc. for all his help in the past 7 years and 20 years really. We had our restaurant with Burton Properties at Victoria Square, uh, and our bank called Bangkok uh, Rural Thai Cuisine and Bangkok Asian Foodland. We opened a, a grocery store next door, and all went in the block of here. It was first year was 20 2000. That is 22 years ago. 22 years ago, I've been going back and forth to Asia, and this last time we were there in 2020, and and going through the Shanghai political atmosphere, which was very intense. And we made it to Tokyo for the Olympics in 2020, and the Olympics was canceled. They would we didn't get to go to Mount Fuji. Last time I seen Mount Fuji was 1994, and according to what I've read, uh, South Morning News on their app, they got a one-time payout for the tourist operators there. That was good. They really needed it. And but I will. Uh, Usually I'm on at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning every week. But this is a emergency. This weather event emergency, and that's why I'm on today, which is Monday, January 17th, 2022.
certainly is. How about you?
But like I said, that acceleration lane to turn right has me a little bit worried that they have uh, scraped it since this morning, early this morning.
Finding the right balance proves to be quite a
And
challenge.
like I said, it's 10:46, and they're on 123 trucks. Everybody doing the maximum speed limit at 45. I can see the power trucks
They're getting close to the answer.
go out, and they're working hard to restore the power in Pickens County. There was, last time I checked, was 17,000 people with no power.
The research
I
continues
will
until late
post
at
my
night.
other video out in front of our building. This is Victoria building, and it's I
Late
forget
November,
what Mr. Burton said. It was completed in 1971 or something like that, 72.
Carl heads to Mr. Sakashika's farm. He brought a sample of the new pumpkin pie for him to try. He's quite confident in this version with the cream cheese.
I share it on Facebook with you. And right now, I got to set up the screen recording, and the editing software is, I'm using iMovie. They change it a lot.
It's time to meet all the farmers who have small farms with big acres. So I think the most important thing is not rushing. Small steps first, not too fast. The day has come.
うん。
The pumpkin pie sold out. In spite of the snowy weather, the two have no time to rest. This is my home. Pioneers of pies is first pioneers really like to do that. So what do the two pioneers have in store next? With the laughter of friends and family filling the place, at Carl's Pie Shop, winter will be warm.
works, sometimes it doesn't. I'll go back to my check on my Facebook.
Không để cho nó tôn han người này là làm thế nào để cho mình cho mặt hàng thân thiện của mình bán lấy cái tin sẽ sắp xếp cái kiểu về vấn đề xào thì bọn mình sẽ sắp xếp rau chuyên xào món lẩu thì bọn mình sẽ xếp cho người ta dễ chọn về món lẩu còn về salad thì mình sẽ bỏ riêng ra salad riêng học xong nên gì học cái qua thì nhìn nhận để có xem nó có cao hay không.
I thought I posted a couple.
Thì là mình sẽ bắt buộc là phải hạ xuống nữa mà có nhiều khi là mình phải bán thấp hơn cả giá vốn vào những ngày trong tuần các học sinh và nhân viên công viên chức nhà nước thì họ sẽ không được nghỉ họ mình đi làm thì là một tuần họ sẽ được nghỉ thứ bảy chủ nhật họ sẽ vui vẻ đến quán mình những lúc mà quán mình cũng giảm giá sao đi gót năm mới ở khu phố Singapore này rất nhiều quốc gia khác nhau rất nhiều người ngoại quốc khác nhau Việt Nam người và Trung Quốc và Hàn Quốc người Nhật thì họ chiếm cũng một ít người Nepal họ chiếm cũng nhiều
Yeah, I'll continue posting on Facebook. It's just easier until they change it to Meta Universe.
khi đến Nhật mình có học cung cấp các loại giấy tờ kim loại sau khi đến Nhật
Monday, January 17th, 2022.
nhưng sau khi mình đã vào làm thêm quán tiền rau hiện tại mình đang làm mình thích cái tiền này và mình cảm thấy công việc này rất vui vẻ và phù hợp với mình nên mình quyết định mình làm công việc này.こちらは葵さんですか。最初から今まで生活とか仕事とかいろんなことを教えてもらったんです。僕の先生みたいですね。やっぱりその店長としてみんなを見ていく目と店長だからやらなきゃいけない仕事を今1ヶ月間ね、本当にいっぺんに来てるからいっぱいいるんですよ。一番大事なのはこのお店に来るお客さんを100人どうやって名前を覚えていくか、50人目どういうまあそうです。この店に来るお客さん1300人、そのうち100人を覚えるだけで合計すると思います。日本の商売の原点はそういうやり方だと思います。日本人に負けません。止まります。
Weather storm says hi, Jeng-Chyang.
Mình đang làm có nhiều người Trung Quốc trong khi làm việc thì cũng có xảy ra một số Mexico,
Alibaba, the same.
con
They got their own platform. Everybody outside the platform, good luck in using it. They still have this tsunami warnings. Japan Meteorological Agency on their header on their website. Just a second, I'll go check on. Come back and check the email. Oh, you got the recipe?
I mean all the whole recipe, but they just show you what is that, but pretty much recipe. I mean a lot, half of the book, 80%, oh, 90%. Yeah, they just tell you, yeah, just this one, yeah, just the.
Half a dozen.
I know, but it's not easy. What I'm talking about, I didn't know it that it's kind of like that. Yeah, but it has stories. Yeah, actually, the after the year, but you have something, at least you know what is it. See that very nice. They will tell you what is that. See, then they will tell you. You know what I mean? At least you know that. Yeah, you just have the book and but very nice book. At least you know what is it, what is it. At least when you go that they have the stack for you, you know what is it. I forgot what it called that stack.
Baby horse. Oh,
And you see that, like I said, you see, the man, like I said, you see, that's why Thailand got it. Before, you see that the man just want to work outside. Woman is the one that stay home. That's why the woman, when they have the tea, right? See, they have only for the man, right? The bill for the man in all kind of that because they try to change,
yeah.
try to be like decrease the 1 month alcohol, right?
Yeah.
So that's why they have coffee and tea.
Yeah.
But they have it for the male body and the woman. Once you get it, you have to send your servant go in the back and buy something from that and take home. And then women, they have their own social later on that you know what I mean. But you see, the men is like they work outside, right? They work at the office, they work at the port. They are politics, correct? They're more like have face than women because remember that's why now I understand that why Thailand they let the men be the big noodle because the men work outside. The man is the face outside.
Yeah.
And then the woman is just the woman at
The
home.
power
You do things at
behind.
home. But when they come back home, my duty gone. You have to serve me.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? Yeah. That's why. I understand that's why Thailand very good. Okay. We're gonna be eat. Then we're gonna be whatever and we're gonna do cheap. And anyway, yeah, I think I can go look at that.
Yeah, it seems to be melting very quick.
I can go, you can be here.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. I will be here
some people
even
might
though,
deliver something.
yeah,
But like I
delivery.
said, we'll see. I will
But
call
be
you.
careful.
Make sure that yeah, I'm fine. People look at outside.
Yeah, outside they uh the cars are.
Yeah. Let's read and then do that.
Yeah, we eat like I said. What time's your appointment? The doctor?
2:30.
2:30.
I can go like 1:30. But I should call in first before I go. Who knows what's going
Yeah,
on?
but by 5 o'clock we better get home because it's gonna be. It's 35 right now. 35 slowly going up. Yeah. Let's see what time I have to get here. Because tonight we'll definitely have black ice on the road.
We do what we can. You know what I mean? I tell you that to like LLB trip.
Yeah. Welcome to everybody's my channel, Rajabhat Research or Jeng-Chyang. Welcome to everybody. And today's is topic is open. Oh, no.
Let's see.
I took the PCR test yesterday, but I have to take another one in my hometown.
Yeah,
Chile and enjoy the New Year holidays.
I'll be right back.
The government estimates that people will make more than 1 billion trips during the 40-day period that started on Monday. Beijing has been under high alert in the run-up to the Winter Games. Health authorities say the capital's first Omicron case, confirmed on Saturday, traced to a mail sent from overseas. They say the patient received a package from Canada via the United States and Hong Kong. They
See,
say
oh,
samples taken
okay.
from it tested positive
Larry
for
for
COVID-19.
tomorrow.
Officials are
Okay.
calling on people to refrain from purchasing goods from overseas to minimize risks. A North Korean freight train has returned from China with a load of what Chinese officials say are supplies of the government.
Ready?
Okay, I'll be right there.
Arrived at Chinese borders
I
in
just
Jeng-Chyang on Sunday,
have
returned to North Korea's
to just a moment. I'll be back.
Jeju on Monday. He said this does not mean that trade has resumed. South Korea's Yonhap news agency quoted sources as saying that the train seems to have brought home emergency relief items such as medical supplies and daily necessities. North Korea closed its borders with China and Russia nearly 2 years ago to stave off coronavirus. The country's leader, Kim Jong-un, says preventing infection is a priority national project. But the border closures are giving a blow to the economy, which has already been damaged by international sanctions. The tension is on whether Pyongyang will resume full-fledged land trade ahead of the 80th anniversary of the birth of the leader's late father Kim Jong-il in February. Now to the volcanic eruption of Tonga. Ash from the blast has reached northeastern Australia over 3,000 kilometers from the volcano. Caution is advised for floods in the region. The Volcanic Ash Advisory Center in Darwin says the ash was spotted around 2:30 UTC Monday. Officials say that based on satellite images and reports from aircraft, the ash is moving westward at altitudes between 12 and 19 kilometers at a speed of about 90 kilometers per hour. The center forecasts the ash would extend to Darwin in the north at around 12:30 UTC Monday and cover the northern half of the country by around 0:30 UTC Tuesday. The center has issued the second highest alert level of orange in its aviation color code. The massive eruption occurred at 4.5 high on Saturday afternoon. The volcano is 65 kilometers north of Tonga's capital. The eruption triggered tsunami alerts around the Pacific nations, including Japan. A research team in Western Japan says atmospheric shockwaves that could be received by the human ear were observed across the country. The team at Kochi University of Technology has observation equipment at 25 locations in the country. The devices are designed to detect shockwaves of very low frequency sound produced by earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. They say the system began detecting shockwaves with long wavelengths about 7 hours after the eruption. About 25 minutes later, it began logging strong waves with shorter wavelengths that people can hear. Professor Yamamoto Masayuki heads the team. He said it's extremely rare for shockwaves with the same characteristics to be observed across the country simultaneously. He added that he wants to use the findings to better understand the mechanism of the latest tsunami. People in Japan marked the 27th anniversary of a massive earthquake on Monday. The Great Hanshin Awaji earthquake rocked the western prefecture of Hyogo and Chiba areas. It collapsed buildings and caused many fires. More than 6,400 people died. American science was observed at 5:46 in the morning, the moment the earthquake struck. At a park in the hard-hit city of Kobe, mourners positioned about 5,000 lanterns to form the date of the earthquake, and the kanji character uni or get. This is an expression of conflicting feelings. People don't want to forget the victims, but at the same time, they want to forget the horrors of the disaster.
These 27 years, I have never forgotten that day. I can never forget what happened. I think it's my duty to pass on the memory to my children. I will keep on telling them how precious life is.
Some young people were seen interviewing those who experienced the quake firsthand. Members of the group that uses social media to pass on lessons from the disaster to younger generations.
you are that type people คือไม่ได้แบบกะเพรา
Storms have been brought to the Middle East, including heavy snow and
and you can have
winds.
that
On the Gulf,
yes for
several
Isan people
miles away,
macaroni
it's
and then
mostly
you do remember they always make like a
Oh
spaghetti
yeah,
noodle
winter
remember the
storm hammered parts of the Middle East.
remember
Snow accumulated in
but
the
you
high
put this one on
elevations and
this
also
nobody has this
rained
menu
all
yet
over the streets in Israel.
see I go back to Thailand and what
Heavy snow fell in the Golan Heights from Saturday to Sunday. The ground and trees were blanketed in snow. Meanwhile, about 100 millimeters of rain fell in parts of Israel. Heavy rain has caused severe floods and many vehicles were submerged. And talking about winter storm, we saw misty pictures across southeastern United States. We saw several tornadoes hitting Florida, and also icy road conditions caused many car accidents over the Carolinas. The winter storm is now hammering parts of the northeastern U.S. with powerful winds and heavy snow. New York may see a total of 50 centimeters of snow by the end of Monday. The storm system will likely affect Atlantic Canada with blustery conditions and also heavy snowfall. Halifax, Canada might see gusts of up to 100 kilometers per hour. Another story is a very low temperatures, which is expected to hit the north central United States and parts of central Canada. These are your expected highs, not lows. Winnipeg could see minus 23 on Wednesday, and Toronto minus 11 on Thursday. Minneapolis usually see minus 5 degrees for the daytime high, but you could see minus 18 degrees on Thursday. So, buckle up. Meanwhile, Japan is expecting more snow along the Sea of Japan side. For example, Niigata, you might see additional 1.2 meters of snowfall into the next 20 hours. Usually, the Pacific side stays dry. However, parts of the low-lying areas such as Nagoya and also Kyoto could see snowfall on Tuesday. Temperatures are going to be in the single digits every day in Tokyo. That's it for me.
I don't know I never do itที่ทำโรงเรียนการโรงแรมที่มาเอาเป็นอะไรที่เป็นยูเอ็นไอละมันเป็นแบบนี้มันแต่เป็นคนเป็นชื่อมันก็รู้เดี๋ยวจะอาจจะเป็นต้องทำนั่นคนที่สิ่งเดียวกันมันก็ต้องทำทำทุกวัน You know about you know you always eat ส้มตำ with the Chinese spaghetti remember you never put it on it's the same thing you make from flour but
And that wraps up this edition of NHK Newsline. I'm Yoshi Westwell in Tokyo. Thanks for joining us.
Our guest today is glass artist Sasaki Rui. so far, Sasaki has exhibited many glass sculptures, both in Japan and overseas. In 2019, she was named that year's winner of the Rakow Commission, an annual award presented by the world-renowned Corning Museum of Glass. We asked Sasaki about where she gets her ideas and what goes into her glass artwork.
We use glasses and the like in our everyday lives. So glass is a material that people have a fixed idea of. It's transparent, ephemeral, and fragile. But when I think of glass, it's the opposite of those things. It's a material with much more potential. So what I do is apply those ideas in my work.
Here's a piece of one of Sasaki's signature works. Turn off the lights, and the glass begins to glow in the darkness. This is part of a series of glass installations called Liquid Sunshine. Each is made up of more than 200 of these sculptures hanging from the ceiling.
Liquid sunshine is an expression for rain that makes it sound like a blessing. When it rains while the sun is shining, it can seem as if the rain itself is composed of sunlight. It sounds pretty nice, right? My designs are inspired by my idea of rain. I wanted to combine rain and sunlight, so I made raindrop-shaped sculptures. The glass bubbles are charged by light while there's nobody in the exhibition space. Then when someone enters, a motion detector switches off the light, and the glass begins releasing the light it absorbed, illuminating the darkened space. That's how it works.
Why do Sasaki's
How
glass
dare
works glow in
you
the dark?
criticize great grand teacher?
The secret is bits of phosphorescent glass.
How dare you criticize great grand teacher?
Phosphorescent glass absorbs UV rays or sunlight, and it also works with fluorescent lighting. It absorbs and stores light energy, and then releases it when the surrounding environment is darkened. In places like Northern Europe or the
Great, it
American
means good,
Northwest,
did?
they tend to get a lot of
And
hot
then
weather,
great
a lot of
is
rain.
the
In some places, they
Great
actually
grand
mix phosphorescent material
teacher.
into the asphalt. It's a way to conserve energy and eco-friendly way to light up the road, so the material can be used in that way as well.
ไม่ใช่it looks like a teacher that super teacher. That's a great grand teacher.
The concept for this series came to her after she set up a studio in the rainy Oregon region.
Great grand teacher is like a super หล่อมาก
The Hokuriku region just had so much rain. The weather made quite an impression on me. For a long time, I've been wanting to make work that explores the subject of sunlight and the weather.
great
In nature, rain falls from the sky to the ground due to gravity.
อาจารย์
So I wanted to intentionally
อา
use
จารย์
gravity
ปรมาจารย์
process in order to create a
based on
sense
the
of
business like a
equality.
master in กังฟูอ่ะ
In
like
terms of
that one
technique,
ปรมาจารย์
sculptures are
is
blown
the
glass.
top of the top
First, I apply the phosphorescent glass to
great
molten
grand
glass, which is then inflated. Then I let the bubble's own weight form the raindrop. I wanted my approach to be as natural as possible. In Japanese aesthetics, there's this idea of finding beauty in the darkness, in the shadows. Expressing that Japanese mood and vibe through the medium of phosphorescent glass hasn't really been done before.
You want to answer it?
yeah I'm from
The Liquid Sunshine series made Sasaki a name to watch, both at home and overseas.
yeah today we decide not to
She first became interested in glass as a young girl. She encountered the craft
the first client
I went
that
to
is
another
safe,
drugstore and I
That's
found
a
they
big,
stay at home.
that's where I saw
but
glassware
that's a
in
big
action
fun
for the
part.
first
Yeah.
time. I remember seeing them making something using this molten substance that looked like water.
I tell you, the snow on the hillside in the shady areas has not disappeared.
You can't sculpt with water.
Because nobody
I
use
wasn't
ngay.
Yeah.
interested in ice. What intrigued me were substances that flowed and were
But
transparent.
123
Glass was the most similar,
and
so I decided to become a glass artist.
Tiger Boulevard, they use a lot.
Sasaki enrolled in the design department of an art school in
I will
Tokyo
follow.
in order to learn the ins and outs
Then
of
you all
glassmaking.
this.
Yeah, call them first. I mean, and
Glassmaking was part of the
College
design
Avenue is
department.
133.
I spent most
It's
of my time designing glassware.
it can see the
School would
parking
take
lots,
thorough education on the
uh,
technical aspects of
Victoria
glassmaking.
Building,
You
the
get familiar with the material, which means you can do more things with it.
Starbucks,
I got more
and
into it.
But eventually,
Walgreens,
Sasaki
and
decided she wanted to
Verizon,
shift away from glassware
and the
and pursue
Citibank.
contemporary glass art. She traveled abroad
It's
to the U.S. to study at the
covered
Rhode Island School of Design.
Oh,
in
my,
snow.
my
She was
appointment
greatly
is
inspired by the
3:40.
environment, which
Ooh.
encouraged experimentation.
You want to go with me?
Glass
Yeah,
is
I
so
will
you can begin
wrap
with
it up and go with you.
Yeah.
But my
Yeah.
professors
But
told me,
we
don't
have
be
to be
afraid of making
like a
mistakes.
2:40.
Just keep
Yeah.
creating. Push yourself.
Yeah.
Take risks.
And then
That
everyone
was
know
the
that
attitude of
nobody
my
will
professors. So I felt free to try things out
But,
that I would
but
never
then
have
when we come
explored
back,
in
you can
Japan.
come and see. You know what I
If
mean?
anything, they encouraged me to do
And
more.
people, they not come to
It was a really
And like I said, the main roads are open.
opened my eyes to see
No,
And
what
talking
others
about
did.
you say that today
Making
someone has a
installations,
delivery something to
using
you.
video,
Yeah.
incorporating performances,
Who
and
knows?
exploring a
That's
range
The
of
what big.
possibilities.
So we
I don't think I could have experienced that in
we come
Japan.
back.
Sasaki returned to Japan in 2010. After spending some time
it's
in
just
Tokyo,
36
she set up a
degrees.
studio in Tokyo
Yeah.
Prefecture in the Hokubi
Then
region.
call him first.
The rainy climate would inspire her to start creating work using phosphorescent glass. This is Holding Sunshine, the first luminescent sculpture she created.
I made this big glass-blown orb about 58 centimeters in diameter. You put it outside and bring it indoors at night, and then it gives off this glow that feels like that day's sunlight. So if the weather was bad that day, the orb wouldn't glow. I think the very idea of phosphorescent glass took people aback. If you were to make glassware using phosphorescent glass, you might make a drinking glass or something for holding food. But I decided to think of these sculptures as vessels for appreciating sunlight. The glassware I make can serve an everyday function, but my approach is to craft vessels for appreciating sunlight. How can I make something that acts in concert with the weather, that responds to it? That's what I wanted to explore.
Sasaki has also made works with a more experimental edge. This piece is called Self-Container. It's composed of thin strands of glass layered to form a cocoon.
Oh, okay. I got it. The
The idea
Google
behind it was
Places.
to create a nest for myself, a space where I could feel cozy and comfortable.
Rincon.
At the time, 3D glass printing technology had just become publicly available, but they were still limited in terms of size. But what if I was the 3D printer? If I stood in the center holding molten glass and spun around and around, maybe I could create a nest-like sculpture around myself. So I stood in the middle and had an assistant keep bringing me molten glass as I kept spinning around. That created these concentric layers with variations in shape
just
depending on
the
my energy level and my emotional
word
response.
about the health
The The result was something that
care from Walmart
a home for myself.
that I
That
haven't
was very
received
interesting.
the shipment.
After
So, like I said,
Sasaki
for uninsured, who knows?
wearing rain. It's woven
Only the insured they know.
The design was inspired by the mino, a traditional Japanese wristband woven out of straw.
What would it look like if you made a needle out of glass? In this case, the final result is not practical to
It's
wear.
35 degrees.
But the idea was that if you could wear it out in the rain, the glass weave would keep you from getting wet. But at the same
It
time,
is
transparent
cold.
glass and water would become one. Instead of getting wet with rain, you're wearing rain. When you think of it that way, the rain doesn't sound so bad. That's what was going through my head when I made it. I made these really thin glass threads and spent a lot of time weaving them together. They're thin and crinkly, so it was a bloody process.
In May 2021, Sasaki held a
I've
solo
been
exhibition
on
On display was her
make
first work,
Starbucks K cup.
She says the piece was inspired by time she spent looking at the music.
This is my Starbucks Sumatra K cup.
She took the clothes she collected from the girls and began to encase them in glass.
I took the threads I collected, sandwiched them between glass plates, put them into my kiln. What you will see is not something that I added, it's the plant's ashes. This is an herb I collected by my studio where I spend so much of my time. It had rained the day before, so the herb had absorbed quite a bit of water. The bubbles you see were formed by the oxygen released by the plant.
Calling tomorrow.
Yeah, they close.
Plants absorb water,
That saves us a
and
trip.
absorb the heat.
Yeah, I
The
will do
hormones
that.
work
Yeah,
differently, so
Yeah,
when you fire them up,
you need it.
moisture is already creating bubbles. This process captures that and preserves it, almost like a photograph.
I know everything.
Personally,
Yeah.
I think of glass as this material, as a vessel that can be used to preserve and record memories and moments and the like. For me, glass is a material with unlimited potential, so I approach it with an open mind without imposing limits.
It's
That
one good
openness
thing
helps
about
expand the conceptual
being
scope of
in
my
this
art.
winter storm.
When it comes to glass,
It's
I never
warm.
make up my mind. I always want to see it and approach it with fresh eyes. The most important things are invisible. I first realized this when I went to America to study abroad. I experienced this culture shock that what I was seeing with my eyes wasn't everything. That was a struggle, but it taught me to tune into things other than what you see in front of you, to approach things in a different way. So I really learned this lesson firsthand, and it stuck with me. With art, too, the important things are invisible, and I believe the medium of glass allows you to give visual shape to that which you cannot see. That goes for these plant pieces, as well as my glass sculptures for capturing liquid sunshine. These words, more than anything, form the conceptual foundation for these works.
Yeah, posted another one. I will, like I said, use the social media, Facebook,
2018 tournament. That's when he
My
won his
bird.
first Yusho. Here's the full leaderboard. Mitake Umi in first place. Yokozuna Terunofuji one step behind. And six men at 6-2. As we enter the second week of this first tournament of 2022. Getting a look at Magaki Oyatanda, you know him better
Yeah,
as the
power
greatest of all
behind
time,
this.
Yokozuna Hakuho.
We're lucky we didn't lose power last night.
Aoyama up against Junior 3, Dai Amami. Junior demotion is looking awfully close for Aoyama.
And oh, that's it.
Dai Amami was last ranked in Makunoichi in July of last year. Coming alone is Dai Amami. Aoyama getting started with his thrusting attack. Moving rhythm to his pushing move right now. Dai Amami responds. Now it's a standoff at the center of the dojo. Hard to say who has the advantage at this point.
Yeah, we're lucky we didn't lose power last night.
And as a result, Dai Amami wins by Hikio Toshi and takedown. Much needed. He's up to 5-4. Here are Kotonowaka and Uchinoshin.
4-4.
Kotonowaka 10 years
Sumo
younger.
tournament.
Uchinoshin doing quite well, 6-2. Uchinoshin just trying to hold on in the top division, 4-4. Uchinoshin gets his favorite kick left hand outside, but loses it almost immediately and is pushed out of the ring by Kotonowaka. That's an Oshidashi
I mean,
for the young man. Uchinoshin
that's
has
why I
the
have to
upper
jump
hand
back and forth between devices and devices
Kotonowaka still
because
recovering from a left knee
they're
injury
not
he suffered in
compatible with
September.
each other.
Doing quite
Google's
well.
not compatible with Apple. Apple's not compatible with Google. Google's not compatible with Amazon. And all of them not compatible with Microsoft.
Against Yu Takayama. With each passing day, Oho gaining more confidence. Yu Takayama dealing with a sore right elbow. There you see the wrapping on it. They crash into each other. Sharp GI from the two men. Oho circling around and then he throws down Yu Takayama.
Yeah.
That's a screwed up helpless arm throw. The 21-year-old now with a fine 6-3 record. His future is very bright. Grandson of title.
Eat my Hershey's candy.
Here's a slow motion look at the end. Nicely done by young Oho. Up next are Chiyomaru and Kaisei. Chiyomaru 5-3, Kaisei 4-4. Chiyomaru tried to get started with his thrusting attack, but Kaisei wraps up Chiyomaru. Kaisei using his larger body to push out Chiyomaru. One of the few times Chiyomaru will face an opponent bigger than him, and it's Kaisei who's the winner. Oshidashi push out.
And my popular
On the
tea
dojo
company
comes Kotoeko and
for my
Shinzaki.
afternoon tea, month's meditation.
Kotoeko has won 3 in a row, 6-2 overall. Chiyotaru trending in the
And
four and seven.
the local heat,
Impressive. Sumo today.
we should use, but we do not.
Kotoeko much lighter than Chiyotairyu, but he does a great job establishing an inside position. That negates Chiyotairyu's weight advantage. And Kotoeko uses that inside grip.
It's 11:37, 36 degrees.
Over the edge.
And
Here are
like I
Ishida
said,
and Tsurugi Sho.
the Tiger Boulevard and College Avenue is both open, but the side streets, the side parking lots are covered with snow. And that's it. It's melting slowly because it's 36 degrees. 但是很漂亮啊 slowly melting.
All that weightlifting seems to have paid off because it takes a strong grip to execute that Hineni move. Here's that strong left-hand grip by Ishida. Beautiful move. Ishida improving to 5 and 4. On the dojo now, rookie Wakamoto Haru and Terutsuyoshi. This is Terutsuyoshi.
My other channel is, I have 3 channels. AES Sears.
In his home prefecture of Hyogo.
So, Jeng-Chyang, number 1 channel, AES Sears, number 2 channel, and Rajabhat Research, number 3 channel. That's 20 years of being a YouTuber. 6,500 total lifetime views.
On the dojo now, Chiyonokuni and Sanada-umi. Chiyonokuni is the only winless Nishi. Sanada-umi, if he wins here, will have his 600th career victory. Sanada-umi gets to the rear of Chiyonokuni.
I get to watch sumo tournament.
600th career victory. Chiyonokuni
不知道在哪里啊？
struggle continues.
Nagoya,
He is now 0 and 9.
the highlight, but I don't know what city it is.
Ichi Yamamoto versus Tobizaru. Both at 4 and 4.
That's my news feed. Not Fox News, not CNN. Mine is a global news feed.
Let's see if he can push back. Tobizaru. Getting started with a thrusting attack, but Tobizaru advancing.
Wow.
And the win goes to Tobizaru. It's an Oshidashi push out.
Sumo is the only sports that I watch.
Tobizaru. About 500 now at 5 and 4. Here's another look at what happened at the end. Tobizaru shuts up Ichi Yamamoto. Here's Aqua versus Takada Fuji. This spot show marks Aqua's highest rank ever by Ashina 10. in Takanafuji with a solid lower body and a
Uh,
solid first
um,
sweep. He's at 6-2.
36 degrees at 11:42.
Lower is Aqua going for his favorite guppy. Not getting that didn't work at all. And Takanafuji, he shows you
I,
that
I
stable lower body.
would
Not affected at all
take
by
it
the
outside,
guppy attempt by Aqua.
but
And calmly,
YouTube doesn't allow me the mobile
she thrusts down victory. Here's another look.
because I don't
It's
have
Aqua's
enough
favorite move.
subscribers. Got to have 1,000 subscribers.
Takanafuji wins by thrust down. Up on the dohyo now, it's Myokiru and Abi. Abi's dropped his last two bouts after starting 6-0.
Today is Monday, January 17th.
Myokiru's gone from
We
4 straight
survived the
wins to
winter
4 straight
storm,
losses.
snowstorm.
Abi going with the thrusting, and when that doesn't work, he uses the pulling move to win by Hiki Toshi pull down. A hand pull down. Abi snaps his two-bout losing streak and improves to 7-2. Abi having trouble extending his long arms, so he goes with plan B, the pull down. We move on to Shimano Umi and Chiyoshoma. This man, Shimano Umi at 4-4. Chiyoshoma at 3-5. Both men look a bit out of rhythm, although they get off to a crisp, punchy eye there, and it's Chiyoshoma with the Splashi under shoulder swing down. Slick move at the end there by Chiyoshoma as he picks up his fourth win. Both men now at 4-5. Moving right along to Hoshoryu versus Endo. Hoshoryu 5-3, looking more and more like his uncle Asashoryu. Endo having a really down tournament, 4 straight defeats, 2-6 overall.
I would check to see if Amtrak
Start by Endo.
they cleared the snow very good.
Hoshoryu gets to the rear and then pushes out Endo. Hoshidashi win for Hoshoryu.
No, Amtrak's
Improves to 6-3.
parking lot is still covered in snow. Just the Amtrak, the railroads are clear.
Will this be a breakthrough year for young Hoshoryu?
I got a message from Clemson City saying they're not working Monday.
Ichinojo seeking his 300th Makuuchi victory today. Win or lose, Buddha is always entertaining. They mix it up, Buddha able to wade through the slapping attack of Ichinojo. They lock up at the center of the dohyo. Ichinojo not a fast moving Rishi. This is a typical match for him. Standing around, not really flashing any offense. Meantime, Buddha, what does he have planned? He's got a hold of the front of Ichinojo's Mawashi, it seems, but it's not a real strong grip. Meantime, it looks like Ichinojo's trying to lift up the upper body of Buddha. hard to say who has the advantage at this point. This foul looks like it might go a while. Uda trying the Inashi to lift up the big right arm of Ichinojo. Getting really low is Uda. Looks like he's eyeing that right arm of Ichinojo. Now he grabs that right arm, but that gives Ichinojo an opening to win by Yonikiri. Uda landing hard on one of our cameramen. So it's a win for Ichinojo by Yonikiri force out. Uda falls to 4-5. Ichinojo improving to 5-4. It's his 300th Makuuchi victory.
11.
Here's a replay, not of the entire match, but what happened at the end. Up now, Wakataka Kage and Tamawashi. Wakataka Kage has won 3 of his last 4 bouts, very athletic. This is Tamawashi's 1,400th consecutive bout. He has never missed a day of Osumo.
Okay.
Start by the Iron Man on the right. Wakataka Kage seizes an inside position and scores another win. Wakataka Kage up to 4-5. Tamawashi falls to 6-3. Oshidashi push out by Wakataka Kage. Here's another look. Everything going Tamawashi's way until right here. Inside position by Wakataka Kage. Moving on to Kiribayama and Daeisho. Both men with losing records. Kiribayama 2-6, Daeisho 3-5. A classic matchup between a grappler and a pusher. It's the grappler who's moving forward. Now they lock up. Kiribayama has a grip on the Mawashi. Daeisho lifts him up a bit and then shoves him up.
EU Parliament holds ceremony
Kiribayama the better Ishii in that match.
for the late president there.
Both men now at 3-6. On the dojo now, it's almost
From Reuters Global Investors, not much news there. We know who the global investors are.
Takanosho level 4-4. Onosho's pushing at that grade. He's 6-2. They crash into each other. Takanosho plays Onosho's game and plays it well. A push-up win for Takanosho. Onosho shaking his head. He falls to 6-3. Takanosho up to 5-4. Takanosho showing his Sekiwake pride. Wasn't going to lose to a Maegashira. Takanosho able to block the arms of Onosho, then push back Onosho, and then take him over the edge.
Like I said, these algorithms are a pain.
Here's our first bout of the day between Soul Leader Mitakeumi and Okino Umi. Mitakeumi, the only undefeated man in the
Algorithms,
top
every
three,
time you
seems
turn
closer
around,
than you think. Mitakeumi
that's
has a
what the
slight
future, our
61 lead.
future is going to be like.
Mitakeumi, both before and after his matches, very businesslike. Okino Umi at 2-6, bothered by a sore left knee. Fast start by Mitakeumi, and he makes quick work of the veteran
Oh,
Okino
forget
Umi.
it. they, they, they ask too many questions.
Now at 9-0, and will be the sole leader after 9 days of action.
Bye. Gender. Bye.
Begin
Sin Ching
forcefully
Binga.
and taking Okinomi straight back. And he makes his way dojo side. So they sit 1 and 2 by the dojo and on the leaderboard. Mitakeumi in first place, General Fuji second. Here are Meisei and Shodai. Ozeki Shodai really having a hard time. Meisei, meantime, his lower back is in serious pain. He is gutting it out. With a 3-5 record, Shodai at 4-4. Both his mental and physical strength seem to have disappeared. 4-4 is not a good record when you're in Ozeki. Fast start by Meisei, but Shodai has an answer. Shodai pushing back Meisei. They circle around and Meisei drops. Shodai, but the Gyoji wins his Gumbai with Shodai.
Oh,
The judges want
I
to
missed
talk
it.
over. Looked to me that Meisei clearly won, but the Gyoji pointed the Gumbai to the Ozeki. Here's another look. Was it the footwork of Meisei? Doesn't appear so. The referee gave the win to Shodai, but we reviewed and concluded that Shodai hit the ground first. We reversed the referee's call, and Meisei is the winner. Glad they cleared that up. It's a Yodi Taoshi frontal crush out win for Meisei. Both men now at 4-5. Here's another look. Fine job by Meisei pivoting and then pancaking the Ozeki. Our second bout of the day is between Yokozuna Terunofuji and Maegashira Hokutofuji. Terunofuji's only loss on day 6 to Tamawashi. He's beaten Hokutofuji 7 times in a row and 7-3 overall. Terunofuji is 1 off the lead, but of course he has yet to fight Mitakeumi. Hokutofuji at 3-5. Letting the shifting a bit is Hokutofuji. Terunofuji grabs the upper body of Hokutofuji, now slips left and inside. Looks like Terunofuji's controlling the flow of this match. And he uses that strong left hand inside grip to win by Shakeyage, underarm throw. The Yokozuna dominating that match. It improves to 8-1. Remains 1 step behind Mitakeumi.
Terunofuji. He almost won the last tournament.
Fuji was unable to push on Tenno Fuji. That's when Tenno Fuji knew he was in control of this match. Tenno Fuji leading with a strong left hand and goes with this dynamic Shitate Nage. So no change at the top of the leaderboard. Mitake Umi in first place, Tenno Fuji in second
Umi
place,
is
and
first
Umi
place.
at 7-2. So that wraps up the action after 90 days.
Tenno Fuji, second place.
Thank you for watching Grand Sumo Highlights.
Yep, the snow is approaching 11:57. It's still 37 degrees out, and the snow is covered the parking lots and the secondary roads still. It, I'll go and check on it in just a moment.
Inside the main building, you can find historical artwork, some reflecting the origins of sumo. This bridge depicts one of the events held within the temple precincts. A massive temporary structure was built for the special occasion, and fans packed the venue every time. Next up to a museum turned garage dedicated to the history of sumo. Pictures highlighting nearly 100 years of the sport adorn the walls. And lastly, a look at sumo stables, where Nikishi holds their daily practice. 10 stables can be found around Ryogoku, and some of them even allow visitors to watch. How do you like it? Yeah, it's beautiful. It's interesting. We can watch only through our windows and for us, because it's nice. Practice sessions are usually held from 6:30 to 11 a.m. And if you stay until the end, you may have the chance for an extra special experience. Ryogoku, the center of sumo universe. Be sure to take a stroll around the district to deepen your knowledge of sumo.
Grand Sumo Highlights from the Nikkei tournament. NHK World Japan brings you all the top division bouts from the 50th.
the sunshine is still bright. It's blindingly bright, but it's still cold. It's deceiving.
The NHK World Japan program schedule. Deeper look from New York. Find out more information on the program's website. BOJ available at the program's website.
Because I forget about these YouTube channels that I made 22 years ago.
Seeing infections spread at an unprecedented speed. We need to keep our society running while trying to contain the infection.
Yeah, I heard some good news about it from Tiger News. I don't have time to check follow up on it, but they say the long-term COVID under a doctor at Chulalongkorn University may have problems, and then the other says, Ruder says that the U.S. may peaked already, and that Omicron could be down, and like in South Africa. I hope so, because Japan still doesn't believe that it intensifies its measures.
Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio has kicked off the new ordinary diet session with a policy speech focusing on measures aimed at stopping the coronavirus.
I will deal with the situation using the latest knowledge and without fear. If there is a better policy, we will switch to that without hesitation. We will flexibly adjust our response.
On the subject of vaccine booster shots, Kishida said he intends to move faster to reduce the interval for medical staff and others who are currently eligible. Kishida said members of the public will be able to receive a third booster shot of the coronavirus vaccine as soon as 7 months after their second shot. He added that the interval may be shortened to 6 months when local governments are able to do so. The Prime Minister reiterated
Let me
his
see.
position that he will move forward with procedures to allow children under 12 to be inoculated as soon as possible if they wish. Kishida spoke about his plans to revitalize an economy struggling from the effects of the pandemic, expressing hope that the decline in the rate of wage increases in recent years can be reversed.
The EU will also work to make the average paying the national minimum wage at least 1,000 yen as soon as possible.
The leader of the largest opposition Constitutional Democratic Party, Izumi Kenta, said the Prime Minister's speech lacked specifics. He said his party is planning to put forward its own policy proposals and that he plans to ask questions about the government's COVID policy during ballot debate. The organizing committee of
That's an interesting project
has announced that due to coronavirus concerns, it will not sell tickets to the public and will
that
allow
the selected workers of 2021. Let me see.
the organizing committee says the measure is aimed at ensuring the safety of all participants and spectators.
I'll
It's
follow
calling
her.
on spectators to strictly follow anti-infection measures. The organizers had previously said they would not accept international spectators and that they would sell tickets exclusively to residents in mainland China. The Beijing Olympics will start on February 4th. While people across China have started returning to their hometowns for the upcoming Lunar New
See
Year
her,
holidays,
her Facebook.
authorities are urging them to refrain
Ah,
from traveling
from
before the Beijing
Warsaw,
Olympics
Poland.
to prevent
Okay.
the Omicron variant from spreading. The homecoming rush began on Monday ahead of the annual holidays that start on January 31st. The main railway station in the southern city of Guangzhou was crowded with people urging
Very nice. See one of his.
I took the 6-yard test yesterday, but I have to take another one in my hometown. I want to see my children.
Might be for the drone.
The government estimates that people will make more than 1 billion trips during the 40-day period that started on Monday. Beijing has been under high alert in the run-up to the Winter Games. Health authorities say the capital's first Omicron case, confirmed on Saturday, could be traced to males sent from overseas. They say the patient received package from Canada via the United States and Hong Kong. They say samples taken from it tested positive for COVID-19. Officials are calling on people to refrain from purchasing goods from overseas to minimize such risks. North Korean freight train has returned from China with a load of what Chinese officials say are supplies for the government. The officials told NHK that the train that arrived in the Chinese border city of Dandong on Sunday returned to North Korea's northwestern city of Sinuiju on Monday. They said this does not mean that trade has resumed. South Korea's Yonhap news agency quoted sources as saying that the train seems to have brought home emergency relief items such as medical supplies and daily
Still
necessities.
Prince.
North Korea closed its borders with China and Russia nearly 2 years ago to stave off the coronavirus. The country's leader, Kim Jong-un, says preventing infection is a priority national project. But the border closures are dealing a blow to the economy, which has already been damaged by international sanctions. Attention is on whether Pyongyang will resume full-fledged arranged trade ahead of the 80th anniversary of the birth of the leader's late father Kim Jong-il in February. Now to the volcanic eruption of Tonga. Ash from the blast has reached northeastern Australia over 3,000 kilometers from the volcano, washing as it dies
Update on the tsunami warning.
The volcanic
It
ash
reaches
rising
Australia.
central in Darwin says the
Ashes.
ash was spotted
Wow.
around 2:30 UTC Monday. Officials say that based on satellite images and reports from aircraft, the ash is moving westward at altitudes between 12 and 19 kilometers at a speed of about 90 kilometers per hour. The center forecast the ash would extend to Darwin in the north at around 12:30 UTC Monday and cover the northern half of the country by around 0:30 UTC.
Darwin in the North Australia.
Has issued the second highest alert level of orange.
The ash from Tonga volcano reaches Australia.
On Saturday afternoon. The volcano is 65 kilometers north of Tonga's capital. The eruption triggered tsunami attacks around the Pacific nations, including Japan. A research team in western Japan says atmospheric shock waves that could be perceived by the human ear were observed across the country.
Oh, the shock wave
University of
off
Technology
Japan.
has observation equipment at 25 locations in the country. The devices are designed to detect shock waves at very low frequency sound used by earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. They say the
Man,
system
that's
will
scary.
detect the shock waves with long wavelengths about 7 hours after the eruption. About
Wow.
25 minutes later, it began logging strong waves with shorter wavelengths that people can hear. Professor Yamamoto Masayuki heads the team. He said it's extremely rare for shock waves with the same characteristics we observe across galaxies simultaneously. He added that he wants to use the findings to better understand the mechanism of the latest tsunami. People in Japan marked the 27th anniversary of a massive
27 years.
on Monday. The Great Hanshin
Quake
Knowledge
victims.
earthquake rocked the western prefecture
Women.
of Togo and nearby areas. The quake collapsed buildings and caused many fires. More than 6,400 people died. A moment in silence was observed at 5:46 in the morning. Moments of the park in the hard-hit city of Kobe warners positioned about 5,000 lanterns before the date of the quake and the kanji character in forget. This is an expression of conflicting feelings. People don't want to forget the victims, but at the same time, they want to forget the horrors of the disaster.
No, that one is dated around 18 to 21. Yeah,
18?
yeah, they already keep
Oh,
the back that
okay. 18 to the 21?
yeah, but they already keep it.
Oh, tomorrow is January
So many
18th,
people were
Tuesday.
interviewing those who experienced the quake firsthand. The numbers of people that uses social media
I thought it was today.
saw lessons from the disaster for
Maybe
younger
no.
generations.
Yeah.
Rough storms battered parts of the Middle
By
East, including
who?
snow
The
and
shipping is
ice. A meteorologist
by
cited
FedEx? I
the
hope not.
details in the world weather.
I don't know.
Oh, there, a winter storm hammered parts of the Middle East. Snow accumulated
Keep it
in
wet
the
there.
high elevations
Jeez.
and also rain flooded streets in
Ugh,
Italy. If you look at this video. Heavy snow fell in the
You
Golden
know that.
Heights from Saturday to Sunday. The ground and
man.
trees were blanketed with snow. Meanwhile, about 100 millimeters of rain fell in parts of Israel. Heavy rain has caused severe floods and many vehicles were submerged. And talking about a winter storm, we saw messy pictures across the southeastern United States. We
Yeah.
saw several tornadoes hitting Florida and also icy road conditions
look very
caused
nice
many
though.
car accidents over the Carolinas.
You know?
The
Yeah.
winter storm is now hammering parts
Very
of the
nice.
east and west with powerful winds and heavy snow. We
I'll
may
send
see a
you
total of
NHK a
20
picture,
snow by the end of Monday.
And
a
it's
video.
up on the floor too.
Canada with
Yeah.
blustery conditions and also heavy snowfall. Halifax, Canada might see gusts of up to 100 kilometers per hour. Another story is the very low temperatures, which is expected to hit the north central United States and parts of central Canada. These are your expected highs, not lows. Winnipeg could see minus 23 on Wednesday, and Toronto minus 11 on Thursday. Minneapolis usually see minus 5 degrees for the daytime high, but you could see minus 18 degrees on Thursday. So buckle up. Meanwhile, Japan is expecting more snow along the Sea of Japan side. For example, Niigata, you might see an additional 1.2 meters of snowfall in the next 48 hours. Usually, the Pacific side stays dry. However, parts of the low-lying areas such as Nagoya and also Kyoto could see snowfall on Tuesday. Temperatures are going to
Okay,
be in
Kyoto.
the single digits every day. So
Snowfall.
that's it for me. Nice day.
And that wraps up this edition of NHK News on News Restaurant. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. We'll, we'll cut it off at 2. I think I begin going long enough.
Welcome to Newsline Index. Last year in 2021, there were various incidents around Asia that were direct threats to democracy, such as the coup d'etat in Myanmar and the closure of some media outlets in Hong Kong. One body that continues to work to protect democracy and support grassroots activities for peace and equitable development is the Ramon Magsaysay Award. Often known as Asia's Nobel Prize, it holds its award ceremony in the Philippines each year. Beginning today, we are devoting 2 episodes to interviews with winners of this prestigious award, who are facing up to the challenges now confronting Asia. Let's first look at how the Magsaysay Award.
I will cut it off at 2 o'clock. Thank you for joining me, joining us.
And has been presented since 1915.
during the winter storm of 2022 or the snowstorm of 2022. And no matter where you are in the world, stay safe. Don't forget to follow me and ring the bell icon. After 22 years of it, I'm still short of 1,000 subscribers. And like I said, I just been reminded of have a YouTube channel, AES Sears, have Rajabhat University and Jeng-Chyang. That's the normal one I use. But you're welcome to check out the other two. We're coming up on a 2-minute countdown. Make one last check of my email. Make sure I didn't miss your comments. And I apologize being on so many social media, but their platforms are not compatible. I will, like I said, don't get out if not necessary. The snow still covers the parking lots and all secondary roads. Only the main ones like 123 is clear. And most of the businesses are closed because the sidewalks are not clear. And maybe tomorrow it will be clear, but there are a lot of snow, and it's just not uh, worth risking your personal safety to be out today, unless you have to.
This is a disease of poverty. Basically, cholera is an illness. That is why many countries in the world don't want to say that they have cholera. They don't want to report cholera because it brings them down in the research.
And it's 12:20, 37 degrees still. And enjoy your lunch. And thank you for watching. And stay safe no matter where you are at in the world. Thank you for watching. Bye bye now.
According to the World Bank, as of 2020, about 18% of the population was living on less than